Good evening, Cyberpunks, and welcome back to Night City. We're all glad you can join us. My name is Cameron. I'll be your game master for tonight's session, and I am joined by this gang of plucky Cyberpunks. Ark, playing the role of Taharka, just to my right, Taharka the Fixer. Riley, who usually plays the role of Blaze, our Netrunner, isn't here with us tonight, but although she's sorely missed, we'll find a role for Blaze in the story. Ben, in the bottom left, is playing Marco, the medtech. Last but not least, to my left, is Melissa as Metal, the techie. Make sure to give them a follow and see what they're up to, especially Melissa. You can catch streaming on Twitch Saturdays. We're playing a different few games. The only announcement that we have is that the system that we use, Cyberpunk Red, is completely out and live right now. Both digital and physical copies are available. You can go to our Telsorian Games web shop and find both editions there. There are no content warnings for this episode. Should be pretty tame unless these Cyberpunks throw something else my way that I wasn't expecting. And with that, let's get into it and see what happened last week. So with the job at what's it called? The Grand Illusion going so well, everything went off without a hitch until Blaze was attacked by a strange assailant who the team now found out is named Richter. Richter then began a rampage of attempting to attack and possibly kill all of the members of our group. But with a few clutch rolls by Metal and some teamwork between Marco and Ark, everyone was able to get out decently unharmed. Taharka was shot a few times. But they got away. At least for a short bit of time. After doing their best to make their way around the city, they were eventually found by Richter again, and they started a violent car chase altercation. Soon after, they were able to get away from Richter and find their way back to the marina, where they met Callum, who led them into a bunker under the Pier 3 Paradise. And that's where we pick up our story. As you're all moving through this kind of the darkness of this bunker, Callum leads you through a doorway, and it's an unexpected sort of setting. You expected this kind of secret bunker to be filled with arms and bunks and food for multitudes of people, but you start walking through what looks to be an old butcher's storage refrigerator. This cold chamber filled with a few leftovers of large cuts of synthetic meat, all hanging on meat hooks. Your breath fogs as you walk through, the cold mist of the ventilation pooling at your feet before Callum leads you completely through it and into a little bit more of what you were expecting. A decent-sized room with a large table with a map of Night City spread out all over it, and a few cots in the corner, and a small refrigerator with what looks like to be all the food. Callum leads you all in, make sure you're in. You're all around the table, and then he puts his hands on it. And well, despite everything, I'm glad you're all okay. The job's done. I have money for you. And he goes over to a safe in the wall, puts his hand on it and punches in a code. It opens and he pulls out the money and he says, what was it? 1,000 eddies each?
1,200.
1,200 each. He reaches back in, pulls out a little bit more, and passes it around to everyone. Well, I appreciate you keeping me honest. I'm not the best with math, so I didn't mean anything by it. No offense.
That's not my concern, Callum.
Well,
Callum,
well, I feel like you're going to tell me what your concern is now.
Callum. The only reason that I'm no longer a donut is because Marco had the wherewithal to patch the hole in me. Why are we being chased by a T Rex made of metal?
Um, Look, if I had the answer of why you'd be hunted, I would have told you. All I
You
know,
know it doesn't look good.
no, not with Richter's got a really high price. Um, so whoever's got him on the job either has a significant payroll, uh, even larger than some corpos, uh, or could stomach regularly. Um, or they have something that they're offering him. But I don't fucking know. Look, you did this job for me, and it's really going to help us out. So let me talk to a few people. I've got a few fixers that I've worked with before that might be able to fish some answers on me. I could use a net runner in that, and he kind of gestures at Blaze. But I think it might be best for all of you to lay low. At least for a little bit. Maybe a day or two. Things move fast here. But whatever you want to do. Kind of leans back and balances on the balls of his feet while he looks at all of you.
I mean, I'm new here, so I have nowhere to run. This is the only place I really know.
Do what you have to do to make it right. I have no problem doing jobs for you. As you can see, we handled everything just the way you needed us to.
Yeah.
But I need to know that I'm not going to be knocked over by a tank every time I try to go do it.
Okay, look, I can guarantee you that he's not after you for my job. Look, corporals don't like us, don't like me, but they don't hate me that much. So I like I said, I'm gonna find out why. I'm gonna do my best to find out why people are after you like this, because it doesn't make sense to me. Like, yeah, we pulled one over on some media fucking corpse. Like, went around all our copyright laws and bullshit.
Just get me some information, please. Let's start there. All right. Whatever, if you recognize them and you know the kind of money it takes to get them, get me something I can use to figure out what's going on, please. Just
yeah, yeah, I'll do that. You got my word on
and
that.
I think I speak for everyone when I say we appreciate the work. We appreciate the place to lie low. And I am trying to be less grumpy about having been shot today.
Well, I hate to on the lie low bit. I hate to put a wrench in that, but it's probably not a good idea for you to be lying low here.
Okay. All right.
You can stay here the night. But Lightbringer would have my head if you let you stay any longer.
I'll keep that in mind.
At least for now. She hasn't heard about what you all did for us, and I have nothing but fucking stellar reviews, if that makes any sense.
Does to me. All right. We'll figure something out and we'll let you know. I'll let you know what's going on.
Yeah, speaking of work, I can take her, and she can help me get that info, and he gestures at Blaze. Blaze seems eager, looking at Taharka. There, you can all see that she's dealing with something at this moment, kind of conflicting motivations and thoughts, but she agrees. She says, I want to help. Callum gives
right.
2 thumbs up and says, great. Well, cool. Got a little, it's like the old days when I was running, you know, she'll be safe.
Just make sure she doesn't eat burritos all day. She will if you let her. Just please.
I don't know if there are any burritos for like 10 blocks, so.
I am very good. Great. Perfect.
Well, I should let y'all get to sleep. There's cots enough for all of you in here. There's a little bit of like a white noise problem. To help some people get to sleep. Oh, if you hear any chains rattling or metal clanking from the room over, don't worry about it. It's just the old AI doing stuff on its own.
You have an AI just
Oh,
rattling chains.
real simple AI. It's from the old butchers that were down here. It kind of cycles the chains on its own every once in a while.
Duly noted.
Anyway, look, if you need anything, and he turns around and looks at the wall, and there's a collection of different colored buttons. And he says, press the blue one. That's the one for me. I'll get an alarm and I'll come right to you.
All right.
Good. He hits the table and makes his way through that butcher's chamber again. And you hear the hissing and clunking of the doorway that brought you down here, and then you hear it again as it closes. And you're left alone inside this bunker.
Where was that AI?
So in that kind of butcher's chamber that you came in, it's the one with all the meat hooks and the hanging synth meat. That's where it was.
Oh, so we'd have to go back out through the door he just exited?
So that is in the inside the bunker. This kind of area is a repurposed butcher's shop essentially. And that area is where they used to store the cold meat.
So could I get to where the AI is?
Yeah,
or...
absolutely.
Okay. I just want to see kind of what it is and what kind of equipment it uses, and if there was anything I might want or that might be like something that the Concord could use, or like
Sure.
Just basically scavenge a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So you make your way into that kind of that refrigerator. What's Marco and Taharka do?
Marco's probably gonna drop his pack next to a cot
Hmm.
and go over to Taharka and be like, "Hey, let me just check on your bandages real quick," and then he'll change him out for clean, new bandages.
Yeah. Why don't you roll me a first aid? It's a really simple one.
23.
Oh wow. Yeah, absolutely. Taharka, Marco changes your bandages quicker and more efficiently and a little bit more tight than any time you've had bandages changed. It's both reassuring and nice, but also just like, ah, kind of feeling.
You're really good at that, Kansas.
Yeah, sorry. How's the shoulder? Still hurting?
Uh, the more the more nights I spend outside of a coffin, the better it'll feel.
Okay.
Shoulder and hip and headache and all that stuff. When I was a kid, actually, I was playing football and actually looked back to get a pass and ran straight into a light pole. Um, had a knot the size of my head on my head for about a week, but uh, as you can see, all smooth now. So
You
I
heal
think I'll
up
be all
good.
right. Yeah, well, it would be good to not have to worry about how quick I heal up.
Yes. But it's okay. I'll be here to help get you through it.
Speaking of getting you through, uh, how's your? Did he get you anywhere?
Uh, oh yeah. And then he'll like take off his armored coat and kind of like look at the back. Doesn't I don't think anything got through. I just had the wind knocked out of me real quick, and I think there's some bruising. And he'll like turn, uh, but no, I'll have to replace this. It's gonna be pretty much useless now. And he like throws it next to the cot.
Yeah, well, armor with holes in it doesn't necessarily do that great of a job, but I'd hang on to it until we can find a replacement. Um,
Yeah.
it's anyway. Um, good, good. You ever been shot before?
No, I've been lucky to avoid getting shot, but just about everything up until getting shot I have dealt with. But
All
no.
right. You are going to feel like you got hit by a truck tomorrow. Every single one of those places, best or not, is going to hurt. So,
Yeah. The adrenaline's worn off since, and I'm starting to get sore, but it's nothing compared to
yeah.
what you dealt with.
Well, that's one of the benefits of staying mad. Doesn't quite go down quickly. I got plenty to be mad about right now.
Well, as your resident med tech, is there anything I can do to help? And he like gives a cheeky little shitty grin and just like,
There are more of you. Oh,
Metal, go ahead and roll me a basic tech.
Okie dokie. Basic tech. 18.
From what you
Oh,
can, oh,
actually, I think with Tech Link I add 2 to that.
oh, okay, yeah.
So
So
it'd be
20.
20. Yeah.
Yeah, from your tech link and how you understand basic AI to work, it's a really simple kind of construct. It's basically one step ahead of early 20th 21st century technology, where normally press a button and things move. This kind of, with its algorithm, understands when it needs to move to make sure that the freshest cut is accessible to the right butchers at the right time and everything. But with a combination of age, the butchers not actually being around anymore, and just lack of use correctly, it moves randomly. It's almost like it's come into the AI has changed to its understanding of when things need to be moved, to a point that it's almost a random number generator. As for parts, yeah, there are a few, maybe like chains that you could probably scrap and use, but to get access to them, you'd probably have to take off a large section of the roof, the ceiling panels that are holding all these mechanisms that have these large meat hook trolleys going around.
Does it look like something that could be repurposed, like the AI itself?
With its age, you don't think so? No. It's from with a 20, you're able to like kind of glean that it's harder to, the more complex an AI is, the easier it is to repurpose it in some ways, because the algorithms are more complex. You can basically teach one to do a different thing and it'll get somewhere else. But the simpler it is, it's harder to change it. Yeah. So unfortunately, there's nothing you think you could salvage from this. While you are in there and you link up to this AI, you get a weird sort of whistling coming through.
Okay.
It sounds like it's almost half of a tune or something, but by the time you try to focus on it and catch it, it's gone.
Okay.
So do
I'll
you
just like pat the machine and say like, "You've done your best."
a few moments after you do that, the chains move, and some of the synth meat moves around and moves one place in the whole thing. So all the meat hooks kind of rattle and clang around the space, and a few of those, like half of a synth cow, swing your way, and it's dim, pretty dim lighting in this room as well.
I have cyber stuff for that, but is there anything to see otherwise in here, or
No,
not really?
it's pretty barren.
Okay, that's all.
Oh. So everyone, the three of you, do you want to do anything before you have a night's rest?
I'll probably check the radio again, just see if I hear anyone on the normal frequency that I would use.
You sit down on a cot as everyone starts to get ready for bed, and you kind of flip through the radio. Where's your control for your radio? Is it like on the side of your head or on your wrist?
Good question. I think maybe I would have it. Yeah, maybe it would be good, like on the side.
Sure. So you kind of lean back and you're cycling through. Almost looks like you're scratching yourself behind the ear. There's nothing. No one in close enough to be able to pick up, unfortunately.
Okay.
I think before turning in, Marco would check his phone, and like kind of hesitantly switch over to his mom's messages, and I think he'll remember the sort of lessons she taught him about how to send coded messages, and he will shoot her a quick text that just says, "It's rainy today." And talk of weather was something that in the family meant we're safe. So
Yeah. And all the while you're going through your messages, you're thinking about your mom and your family. And those spam text messages keep coming in. Another one. But she sends something back. Glad to hear. Carry an umbrella. Which to you is just like, make sure you're strapped. Good old moms.
yeah, I think he'll smile and just like put the phone under his pillow and go to sleep.
Yep. Ark. Taharka.
Taharka is just gonna get in the cot and just stretch out and have a very difficult time of it because he got shot on the left and his shoulder is giving him some issues on the right from hitting Richter, and so he's just gonna kind of sleep in hell. It's not gonna be comfortable because of the injuries, but he'll muscle through it.
Yeah, of course not. But you know, it's definitely different than last time. The last time you were shot, having someone there to make sure that you're okay, and not having to sleep in the dirt about it after it. So you all, yeah,
That part's very nice.
yeah. You all kind of look over at Blaze, and she's flicking through her deck into the night. Seems that she's checking in on her stream community because she hasn't been streaming in a while. She seems a little distant. But you all eventually fade into sleep. Marco, you find yourself dreaming. You find yourself in that mirrored hallway of the entrance into the Grand Illusion, that kind of smoke and mirrors thing that they set up there. You're walking through like it's normal. And then in one of the mirrors, in a distance, you know how it kind of reflects, and then down the hallway you can see someone else. You see Richter, his large form, and he shoots the mirror. He points the gun at you, but after it shoots, it destroys the mirror, and behind it is someone you don't recognize at all. It takes you a moment, and then you do. It's the person that was behind you, getting through the door that you helped pull in front of you as Richter shot at you. You wake up, and it wasn't so much of a nightmare, but more of just like a dread dream. You wake up in the middle of the night, and you hear the rattling of the chains in the next room. But nothing else. Everything else is quiet. Blaze is definitely snoring, though.
Hell yeah. Snoring rights. I think that after that, waking up from that bad dream, I think he'll pull his phone back out and send a message to a name titled Joey with like a little emoji with like a green heart. And then he'll send "Miss you, bud," and then he'll try to go back to sleep.
You do pretty easily. And you all eventually wake up in what you think is the morning. There's no daylight inside this repurposed bunker. But soon after, Callum, you hear the hiss of the door to the bunker open, and you see Callum making his way through the butcher's storage, and shows up, runs his hands through his hair, and says, "All right, where are you going?" "Well, I know where you're going," and he points at Blaze, and says, "You're coming with me. I want to make sure you all are headed to a good place. Just someplace that's not here."
I mean, the only other place I know of was where I met Metal, in that Beavertown place, right? With the older couple.
That's his
My parents.
parents. Yeah.
I forgot.
Well, let's not go there.
Yeah,
It's not
forget I-
super
for-
safe.
forget I mentioned.
Let's not go there. Ever
Forget
again,
I
actually.
mentioned it.
Forgotten. You're all good.
Oh, I could bite the bullet and see. Could bite the bullet and see what Highlight wants, but
Mm.
maybe not. Not until
You
things
make it
quiet
out of
down.
there?
I don't know. He's scrappy enough. He probably did. Are there any news reports about what happened last night? Because we tried to check and see what was going on, and all we got was the jamming. So
Yeah, there's a few things out and about, talking about, well, some reporter, found a story that, you know, the old band Samurai, the one with Silverhand and all them,
yeah,
apparently the last members of Silverhand owned the Grand Illusion. Johnny did too. Before he, whatever. And essentially, took the spin and was just like, oh, anti-violence and all that kind of stuff, and turned it into harping on political utopias and all that nonsense. So yeah, people are talking about it, but they're not giving it as much news as it probably should be.
yeah. Well, it's kind of hard to miss a wrecking ball knocking its way through that club. So if his face and ours aren't all over everything right now, then it's probably whoever hired him at work.
Yeah, could be the Media Corps too. They were in there like fleas on a dead dog.
Well, last night when we left the city, that was when we stopped getting jammed, right? So I think that they expect us to be in the city. So as long as we're not in the city for a while, that potentially could be safer.
Yep.
It's worth a shot, yeah.
Y'all
I
get.
could try to contact like my people.
Yeah.
Now that I know that people are looking for us, I can at least give a warning and we can be prepared.
Yeah. You need a long form. You use radio, right? Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah.
He goes into and he kicks open a side door that leads to what looks like a little storage room, and pulls out an old, larger old radio set and plops it on the table with the map and says, "That should get you all the way to Las Vegas." So,
Hmm.
Okay.
how about it?
So I will call the wherever station I feel like they'll
Yeah.
pick me up. And I will say Emmy, that it's Emmy. And that I'm, what's the terms that I would like to use? I don't even know what I would say.
Take your time. Think about it. Callum can talk to Callum
Okay.
as you figure out, and you're trying switching through stations and trying to talk. Callum looks at Tarka and Marco and says, so I did some basic digging. I went through my old Arasaka contact. It's not them or Militech, who, that's where I know Richter from. Is we worked for Arasaka at the same time. So it's not either of them. And I was thinking, because it's not the Media Corps, because they had no idea that any of you were involved. None of you have any corporate affiliation. You don't have any affiliation with Guerrilla or anything along those lines. It's probably... It's a lead I'm going to follow. It's probably one of the groups that you all got caught in the middle about. How we all met.
How bad are the drug cartels out here? Like, what's the scene? Is it
Drug cartels.
manufacturers, pushers, whatever you want to call it?
Yeah. You mean bio? Sorry.
Street shit. The
Drug
street shit.
street shit doesn't matter. Like, there's no street shit here. The gangs like try and run it, but Biotechnica is here. Talk about like them, and like the biggest choo-choo producers are here. Like, I don't know your background, and I know you're not from here or anything like that.
Yeah.
But like, corporals run this town.
Yeah, I only asked because they tried contacting my family in KC, and the family does drug manufacturing in KC. So I was maybe thinking it had something to do with that. I don't know.
Yeah. You really got to do something about that phone alarm, man. Did you get your phone on a registry of something? I don't know. But anyway,
Probably a mobile game.
I can't stand those. I knew a guy back at Arasaka who, when we were on a job, he had one installed in his neural and he would be playing it in the middle of a fucking firefight. Like, I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand it.
Have you played Laser Kittens? That one's a good one.
No, I haven't. No.
I mean, you can fly, and there's the kittens have lasers, but
Look, I haven't seen a real cat since I was a kid, so I don't know. Not for me. But no, it's not the drug cartels. It's Miratech and Biotechnica are the two that I got involved with that night. So I'm gonna be looking into them. But just be careful.
so I think I know what I want to say.
Okay, yeah.
On the radio.
Yeah.
So it'll be this is Emmy just checking in to see if anyone wanted discount vehicle parts. I can come to you or meet at a designated drop point. Deals are hot and won't last.
Okay. You, after a little bit, you hear a crackle on the frequency as you're going over. You hear a crackle on one of them, and it comes back, and it's a familiar voice. One of the lookouts that is usually on staff. You know her name is Lucille, and she says, "Yeah, we're in the market. Come on out. Usual spot. We got cash hot and ready."
All right, meet you soon. Over and out.
Over and out. And the line stops fizzling. Callum looks at you and says, "So, sounds like you're a used car dealership."
Yeah, sound like that.
Well, that sounds like you've got a place to go.
We will see, I guess, when we get there how it goes. Hopefully not be followed and hopefully get to them and then we all stay in one piece.
Yeah. Well, if it's any solace, if Richter didn't find you in the night, he's off your trail.
I imagine you'll contact us when things have cooled off a little bit.
Yep. And if Heat follows you out there, trying to think of where to meet. Oh, the university. That would, yeah. On the quad. Unassuming. They would never think I would go to college, so. No. It's too hot. Too many civvies. You know what? It's a safe spot. He slides metal a frequency and says, "If you're in some trouble, get onto that frequency. Give me a tap 5 times. Don't say anything, just 5 taps. Give some space between them so I know it's not just misclicks, essentially. And then meet me at the med center in the center of town where the trauma teams work. That's where I'll be waiting for you when I hear that."
That is comforting.
It's the best I can give you.
I'll take it.
Oh, and like, do any of you have like a trauma team plan? Silver, gold, platinum, anything like that?
No.
Oh, well, the amount of heat you're attracting, it might be a good idea. Platinum plans cover 90% of 90% of whatever you use if a trauma team shows up. So Anyway, I've got work to do with this one. And he looks at Blaze and says, "Hey, let's go get a burrito. It'll be you know, encouragement." And he looks at Taharka and says, "It's not a burrito. Don't worry." And he leads Blaze out and says, "The door will close behind you when you leave. Stay safe." And Callum and Blaze are gone. So, what's the plan?
All right. Marco, you want to give another check to make sure? How's your back?
My back? It's fine. And then he'll change out his wound dressing.
Mm-hmm.
Do I need to roll for that?
I'm gonna say no. From what you did the other day, I was pretty confident in what was going on. So I'm just looking up some quick stats and everything. Yeah. So how much health points did you lose to Harka?
I only lost 4.
Okay, you've gotten 1 back. Sleeping already. It's a pretty light injury. It wasn't any mortally or critical or anything like that, so it's gonna heal decently well.
I wish they all were clean like that. All right. Okay. Do we have a time, Blaze?
Oh. Do you need metal or blaze?
Metal. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
I'm still foggy from the morning.
I mean, we didn't necessarily set a time. I just said, like, basically, I told them there's some crazy shit on my ass, and I probably won't last without help. So, I know where we're supposed to go. There's not a time. It's just when we get there, when they get there.
All right. If you need to take some back roads or loop around a bit to make sure we aren't followed, that's fine by me.
Actually, I have to figure out where my freaking car is.
Callum said that they would bring it back out for you when you needed it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
and
good.
by the time you all get out of Pier 3, it's actually right in front of the warehouse.
Can I ask them what happened to Jonathan Appleseed's truck?
Yeah, one of the bonfire workers who also seems to be a union rep looks at you and says, I think we sold it to a scrapper. It wasn't worth anything to us, so
Mm-hmm. No, it's fine. Sometimes it's nice to have like extra vehicles so you can get around without, you know, being marked.
it's a good point for next time. And
All right.
they head out on their work, and you have your car. So, where are you headed?
I guess we have multiple like designated meeting spots, but like each person would have like their main one
Mm-hmm.
that they would go to. So I will go to the one that's like designated for me.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. So are you driving straight there via the highway? How you doing things?
No, I wanted to try to stay without like too many eyes, just so
Okay,
like people can't see. I don't really know what's out there or if there's a description of vehicle or anything like that.
just sure. So yeah, go ahead and roll me a drive for driving stealthy.
What was okay, drive. Everything's moved now.
Yeah, that's all right.
Hey, Marco, you want to take shotgun?
Sure.
Awesome.
Oh, land vehicle. Okay.
Oh yeah, you can kick up your feet in the back. Stretch
You
out.
you got it. Awesome. There you go. Thank you.
Oh, I don't know if I still have vehicle link or not. So with vehicle link, it would be 20, but without, it's 18.
Okay. So you drive pretty easily. You take a few back roads, hopping on and off of the highway. Then eventually, as you get to the beaver towns and combat zones, you start driving through there. You're pretty comfortable with that area, so you feel a little bit more confident. Oh, excuse me, confident taking those back roads there. Eventually, you find your way out to the desert, the wasteland around Night City. And you head out to your spot. You sit and wait. The wind sort of blows against and around the car as you're all waiting, kind of rattling a few of the windows. And then eventually you see a lone car start to drive up from the distance, probably 20 miles out. Eventually they get close. And they pull up alongside. It's a rickety old car. It looks like it's got every part of it rusted. The only window it has is the windshield, and even then, it's got holes and bullet holes, and looks like what a rock that's been thrown through it and everything. And in it, Metal, you see Lucille, who you spoke with over the radio, and she's an older woman, probably about her late 40s, early 50s. Has light sepia-colored skin, hair shaved low, graying a bit, warm face, and covered in wrinkles and smile lines, and a few pock marks on her temples when you get a close look. She's got amber-colored eyes as she looks over at you. Oh, I thought it. First, I was worried that it wasn't going to be you, and it's good to see you.
Thanks. It's nice to see you, and I mean, just, family.
Yeah, Tyre Iron's been fucking worried sick. So I'll take you back to where we're docked for a while. And looks like you got some friends in the car.
Yeah.
You okay?
Well, someone's trying to kill us, so that's not good.
Oh, well then let's get moving. And she puts her car in drive and starts making her way off in the distance. And you following, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Does
picture...
the radio work out here?
Yeah, it's working. I mean, there's like maybe 2 stations out here, but overall, you're getting some good channels. There's that one, the kind of blues channel that always hits out in this area. It's some sort of AI generated song mixer, that it's not anyone actually playing music. But you're driving. The dust from the Lucille's wheels kind of hits and kicks on your windshield and everything as you're going. Anyone doing anything while you're driving? No? All
He's
right.
probably playing with his phone.
Sure.
But, you know.
Is Lucille's in her own vehicle, right?
Yeah. Yes, she is.
Okay. Then Taharka would take his shoes off and stick them out the window as he's laying back.
Yeah, I just need to check something real quick. Yeah, you all eventually make it to the Concorde and their kind of caravan of vehicles. From a distance, it looks uh, like a stereotypical trailer park out in the desert of having so many things just kind of thrown about and all that, like discarded cars, discarded tractors, discarded vehicles of all sorts, all just rusted and decaying out in this wasteland. But as you get closer, you see that yeah, some of their exteriors may be messed up and junky, but they're all ready and raring to go, and some of them even look pretty spooky when it comes to combat readiness. Uh, Another thing about this collection of vehicles is that they're all situated out by the water, and you see that there's a few boats out there as well. Eventually, you pull up. Marco, you recognize Silverteeth's motorbike that he had. It seems to be just still out there with all the other stuff. But Lucille pulls her car up to next to what looks like a large RV, hops out of her car and looks back at all of you and nods at Metal and says, "You know where to go. You're home."
Thanks for coming and getting us and leading us back.
Yeah, of course. You know, I heard about Silverteeth. Like,
Yeah.
he was a bastard, so don't worry about it. But it's not your fault. Okay?
I know he would have checked anyway, but yeah.
Yeah. Take care of yourself. All right?
You too.
And as you pull away from the RV, she hops up on top of it, sits on what looks like an old lawn chair with its fraying plastic supports, and pulls up a guitar and just starts to sit and pluck away. You're too far away to hear whatever she's playing, but I'm assuming you're going to the boat, right, Metal?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You all drive a little bit away from the Greater Concord, and eventually find yourselves near the coast. Again, you can hear the splash of waves, but this time it sounds a little bit more natural. Just hitting rocks and sand rather than the concrete of the pier. As you're all making your way up there, you see a woman steps out of the boat. The large woman, probably about 6'3", 6'4", thick, built, stocky. Sorry, there it is. Yeah, a dark terracotta skin tone, oil slick colored hair tied up in a top knot, with a comb of polished chrome and bones stuck in it. Stockily built, strong arms, really strong of body, and a bit of weight to her, but she looks powerful. And she sees the car, and you see her going from like a kind of neutral stance of putting her hands on her hips, and she's got like dirty oil stained overalls on top of a white traditional tank top, and she changes that posture from neutral to imposing to just this huge warm smile on her face as she sees the car pull up. And she has a few from her wide grin, she shows most of her teeth, and you can see she's got a few gold or silver teeth in there, just to you know how it is when you lose a tooth and as an adult and you can't put anything back, But she goes in, and immediately as the car gets put in park, she kind of throws the door open and picks Metal up out of the car, and she says, "Oh, I was so worried about you. You can't do that to me, okay?"
Well, honestly, if I didn't leave, we probably would have lost more people. I don't know what. It wasn't my fault. I didn't do anything.
No, of course it's not your fault. I don't care about that. I haven't heard from you in 3 days, so
I tried to, you know, check the radio and stuff, but I don't think anybody was in distance.
yeah. Since Silver Teeth, the Greater Concord decided to stay away from the city as much as possible. So, but and she looks at Marco and Taharka. Seems like you're going to be going back in there soon enough. Yeah.
Probably. We have one more person we're gonna have to get at some point.
And they're good.
Yeah. I mean, she got connected to my car, and it was actually pretty cool.
That runner.
Yeah.
How about these two Chumbas?
Well, I'll let them speak for themselves, I guess.
Yeah, she hits the top of the car and says, "Okay, get your shoes back on and get out."
I just finished. Just finished.
Marco gets out and is like, uh, "Hi, I'm Marco, and I met Metal, and then we came here, and then Silver Teeth, and I'm a medic."
All right. Okay. And she looks at Taharka.
Taharka, you need it. I get it.
She shakes your hand. Oh, a little begrudgingly. Born and raised Night City.
Yes, ma'am.
How many times you been out in the waste?
Including this one? One.
Well, I'm glad I popped your cherry in that way. So, why are you here? And she turns to Metal. What's going on?
Well, some real big dude that apparently has balls of steel. I don't know. Riley says it better. But just like so much going on, like strong and shoots a lot. I don't know what's happening. It's like he doesn't stop coming. He ripped off my friggin' steering wheel and broke my window. And well, technically he didn't rip off my steering wheel, but he was holding onto it, and so I had to take my steering wheel off. So now I don't have a steering wheel. So we'll have to find one of those. I'm sure we have extras around.
Oh, we have so many. You're fine. And
In my window.
we can fix that up. And she just kind of pulls Metal into a big bear hug again.
And I'm very small compared to.
She is large. And then looks at the other two. Says, "Okay, let's get in the boat. We'll get some spam in you. And we can talk about this big guy. I've met big guys before. Not too worried about him." And then she just puts her arm around Metal's shoulder and doesn't wait to hear your response and just starts heading to the boat.
So I'm like talking about like, oh, and also inside this butcher shop, there was like this AI that's kind of breaking down, and I thought maybe we could use it for something, but it's pretty simple. I don't know. We could probably figure something out if we really tried. I couldn't by myself, but
Well, you gotta tell me everything you saw, everything you think we could salvage. I think there might be a good market for heading into Night City and scrapping a few things every once in a while. You know, there's a lot of corpos in there that aren't using their stuff, and you know, it'd be good for us to get some stuff.
I almost got a truck too, but I guess it got taken to scrapyard. I think I still have a bug tracer on it though, so
It might be worth
might
it.
be able to go into a scrapyard.
What kind of a truck?
What kind of a truck was it?
It was a repurposed old APC, which is
Okay.
basically almost a tank.
Okay. And I did scavenge some parts from it,
Mm-hmm.
but just small
Yeah.
pieces.
Nothing too huge, but definitely stuff that you can work with. Marco and Taharka, you eventually get into this boat, and it's roomy. It looks like to be a larger schooner. That it's a little definitely sorry, not a larger. It is a schooner. It's seaworthy, but not. I wouldn't. You probably wouldn't want to go out on the main ocean with it the way it is these days. It seems to be a little bit more of like stay near the coast and we can travel that way kind of thing. The big thing you see inside is food. And not just like, oh, we've got food. It's more of like growing food. And using soil to grow food, which is something very unheard of. Extremely unheard of. And Tyron looks at your faces and says, "Oh, don't worry. It's still synth. It's not the real stuff yet."
I mean, you said yet though. You actually trying to set up like a full.
She looks at Metal and says, "They okay to talk about this?"
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Hey, I mean, if it's trade secret, I get it. Just
She knows about it more than I do. It's kind of her thing. And she's pointing at Metal. But it's been good. It's hard because the soil's fucked. But she
Find.
yeah. Metal's been able to find good soil and teach us how to do it, and she knows a lot more than she lets on. And she lovingly kind of nudges at Metal.
It's really something my dad did, so I just kind of learned about it, and it's, well, if the wrong people find out, it's dangerous. So
yeah.
Oh,
So unless you need something for it, this doesn't exist.
yeah,
Gotcha.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So, tell me about this big guy. See whose ass I gotta kick.
well, we've heard the name Richter. I don't know if that means anything to anyone.
Not to me.
It's probably good. I got a couple of perforations, and it really is all metal.
Oh, that kind of bad guy. Okay.
Yeah.
You think he's coming here?
I don't know how he would know where we were, but we didn't really know that he'd know where we were before either.
We
Right.
were able to stay in the city overnight, and he never came for us, so he may have lost our trail.
He's also scrambling. Well, we don't know if he was the one messing with our radio and stuff, but somebody was.
Well, I hope it was him, because if we have to deal with somebody else who's helping him scramble shit on top of all of that, I got no idea what I'd do.
So why is this guy coming after you?
Oh, that is the million Eddie question, isn't it?
Oh, speaking of Eddie's, and then I like take the money I got from Callum.
That's a lot of money.
And we worked for it.
You did a job in the city?
Mm-hmm.
I'm really
Damn
proud
good
of you.
one too.
Thanks. I like had a gun out the window and I was driving.
Did you shoot anybody?
Not that time I didn't.
Oh.
I did a different time though, and it was really bad.
We can talk about that later, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, so why is it the million Eddie question? And why is the medic so quiet? Do I intimidate you?
Kind of.
Well, that was brave.
I also didn't get much. I had shitty sleep last night, so if there's anything I can do, like manual labor, to get my mind off of it, like if you got something that needs doing, then I can do it and just get out of your hair.
You asked the wrong question, friend.
Do you know how to put in a window in a car?
I don't know, Cameron, does he?
Roll a basic tech for me.
Okay. Trying to figure out where everything is again.
Technique skills.
Mhm.
Yeah, 13.
You haven't done it before, but you're pretty confident you could.
I watched my Uncle Tony install a window once.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try.
If you find anything in the door, just put it back.
Yeah, you got my word.
All right. Go to the front of the boat. There should be a pile of shit. You'll find a window in there. Make sure it's the right one, and go pop it in the Metal's car.
Got it. And is it hot out in this desert area?
Yeah. I would say it's like high 80s, but like dry, and
Love that shit.
but too dry. To the point where the heat is just like there's no moisture in the air, so my lips are now chapped. I have gone outside. Now they're peeling. Does not matter what you do.
I am desiccating. I will turn into dust. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, I'll go do that. Do I need to roll again?
No. You're
Okay.
all good. So Marco heads out to go look at everything, and Tire Iron crosses her arms and looks at Taharka. All right, big man. What's really going on?
Job went bad. And by a job went bad, I don't think it was really our job to begin with. I met the two of them the same night our friend Blaze and I were gonna go find out more about a job, and some corpos came in, offered us ludicrous amounts of money to go after a scientist, and we didn't get there in time. And the next day, our faces went up on the web, and I have been shooting people and getting shot at to varying degrees pretty much every day since.
But you don't know why?
I would love to know why, because then I can give somebody something, or I can kill somebody, and then I can go to sleep. I got bupkis. We've been chased by fucking fascists. We've been chased by Iron Men. I I don't know.
Okay. Okay. This just sounded like something Nomi would say. So, this is. Why don't we take some time and actually go talk to Nomi? Metal, you know Nomi to be one of the Black Thumbs, similar to you, of the Concord. Nomi's definitely on a different level. She's able to she could take an engine that's split in two and get it to work. She's also very weird. She's akin to Blaze, as in like always trying to tap into the net, but she's a conspiracy theorist. So, Tyron says, so once the medic out there finishes his job, we can go meet Nomi and ask her if she's heard anything.
Do you think she might know about some weird stuff in some vials?
Maybe. The stuff that she spews out, I don't know anything about what she's talking about. So, like the other night at dinner, she was talking about frogs and how something back in the 21st century turned them gay. It made absolutely no sense to me. So I'm just very confused by her. But if she might know something.
Frogs.
Look, don't ask, okay? She's just good at what she does. And she's a part of the family, so.
All right.
So, Marco, you make your way out to this car, and you're like, yeah, I can replace a car window. It shouldn't be a problem. Then you look at the door and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. And by the time everyone gets out there, you have the kind of plate on the inside of the door off, and you've finally gotten the window out. And Tyron looks at you and says, "Wow, took you this long to get that done?"
I'm a medic, not a mechanic. But I tried. So
She walks over, pats you on the back of the head, takes the window, pops it, slots it in, really quick, puts the door back on, screws it back in, and says, "You were so close."
maybe next time I'll get it done quicker.
Next
I
time.
mean, he's pretty good at what he does do well, so
Oh, I'm sure.
maybe if you're hurt ever.
I can tell from his hand that he'll be more of a use in a pinch, but he said he's intimidated by me, and I'm milking that for all it's worth, because it's fun.
And he's just standing there staring at the ground like, so uncomfortable.
You don't need to be intimidated by her. And she's gonna kind of like fall kind of backwards, like lean on her, like
Yeah, absolutely just completely supports
Trust
the weight of metal.
fall-ish.
Yeah. Tire Iron barely even moves her arm to catch metal, but it's just like, if metal likes you, you're good in my book.
So are y'all sisters or something, or you seem
Kind of.
close?
A bit.
Cool.
Anyway, let's go see the conspiracy theorist. And she starts making her way. Eventually you get to what looks like a small Winnebago that has detailings of like old gamer aesthetics on the outside. So it's like black and like neon green, neon lime green mixed with neon pink, and it's all over the place. And Tyron bangs on the door and says, "Nomi, come on. I want to talk to you about conspiracy theories." And from the inside, you hear a lot of rustling and moving around. And on a window near the door, you see a face look out. And then opening the door is a akin to Blaze, a thin, small, haggard. Looks like she hasn't eaten in a while, and has been glued to a screen. Her hair's like frizzled out, uncontrolled, like a complete bedhead. Her hair's a deep auburn, and she's got a pale, freckled skin. Her eyebrows are a fiery red. And she looks out and wearing loose, hanging black clothing on her. She says, which ones? Which theories?
Frogs.
You want to talk about the frogs?
No, not the frogs.
Oh. What?
No. Okay. Have you heard anything about people chasing us, me, in the news, and why? Corporate espionage stuff.
I mean, I saw the news that you blew up a bar.
That didn't happen.
We did not blow up a bar.
But were
It's
you
a
there
false
on?
narrative?
Oh, okay. All right. Now we can get into this. Okay, come inside. And she kind of throws the door open and then hops up on what looks like it should be a kitchen counter, but it seems to have been repurposed to like a sleeping area for some reason. And she hops up and she's squatting on that, and there's no real sitting place for any of you. It's all just different arrays of gaming chairs that have been picked up from junkyards, old like yard chairs that are just haggard and everything. And the place is lit by ambient floor lighting. So it's a really dim atmosphere. And you can tell up by the front where the driving seat is, there's what looks like to be a large dog bed that seems to be disturbed, as if someone was only recently sleeping in it. And Nomi looks at all of you and, so, false narrative, okay. Were you the place you blew up, were you actually there?
We may have had a couple of drinks pre-explosion, yes.
Did you meet Dr. Miles Casey.
We saw him.
Okay, so out. Whose phone is that?
So, that's me. Sorry. I need to put it on silent.
I like your ringtones.
Thanks.
I like cats.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Dr. Miles Casey was working on a genetic theorem to change the basis of human biology and basically make us into lizards.
Okay. Into lizards, really?
Yes,
Where did
lizards.
You get this from?
It's all over the boards. It's on the net.
Do you think that was the stuff that he had on him?
He
What about-
had
What
stuff.
What was in
Yeah.
there?
He'll reach into his, because he's wearing cargo pants, because he's
Mhm.
so fashionable.
Yeah.
He's gonna reach down into his lower right hand pocket and pull out the vial that he had managed to squirrel away. And
The
he'll
fuck is that?
Show her. It came off. It came off of the doctor shortly before he was incinerated, immolated.
Oh, right, yeah. Thank you. I'd forgotten about that.
I never got around to checking the chemical makeup of it, but
Yeah, I was curious about
Whoa, be careful.
Is that the shit that splashed on us?
It splashed on you. You're turning into a lizard.
did it splash on us?
No.
Have you
I'm
felt
feeling a little
your-
bit more-
Have you felt
I
yourself
feel
regenerate?
very lizard-like.
Are you growing scales?
No. Maybe it's more on the frog side.
Have
though.
you felt your body regenerating faster than normal?
I feel like my
No.
tongue, like, kind of maybe is a little bit longer.
Is it splitting?
No splitting.
Can we check what is in here instead of making
we
silly
probably
statements
should.
about changing into reptiles? Please.
Look,
How,
Can we
how
check
can,
it?
How can you
I
check?
don't know what he's working on, but if there was actually something and whatever, I just assumed that he, I don't know, didn't drop his drink or some shit. But if there's actually something there, then let's.
Yeah, no, this was something he was carrying on his person. And he'll.
How
I
come you
think
didn't
it's
say you were carrying that before?
I don't know. I kept it on me just in case. I kept forgetting to check it. Because it was whatever, I imagined whatever Callum killed him for. And he'll reach into his other cargo pocket and pull out something that looks like the little device that takes your blood sugar for people with diabetes. And it's got like a little node on it, and he'll quickly put on some like latex gloves just to make sure he doesn't contaminate his skin, and then he'll dip it into there and use his chemical analyzer, which is
Yeah.
an item that he has.
Hell yeah. You start analyzing it, and it's in this moment that the three of you feel headaches again.
Now this again.
They're worse than the last time you felt them. Roll. Let's see what I want you to roll. Roll an empathy for me, just straight empathy.
Not feeling particularly empathetic. I don't think it's a 9.
13.
Marco, as you're analyzing this, and the headache kind of just cascades from the front of your head all the way through the back, and just kind of pulses in waves like that for each of you. You have a feeling that if Blaze were here, you would not feel that headache. And eventually your gadget beeps at you, and you find that it is a gene editing compound. That it carries pathogens that seem to access human DNA and change it. To what? No idea.
No idea. Yeah. Well, they didn't teach me anything about this in medical school, but this is a compound that changes the chemical or the makeup of human DNA. So
Lizards.
I'm sorry. What?
yeah,
Lizards.
I'm not gonna test it out on anybody here, present company included.
But she said it got on you already.
I don't think it did. Did it?
It did.
Did it, Cameron?
Yeah, it got on all of you.
Yeah, no, I remember some.
Shit, I forgot
remember
about
some-
that.
Remember some shit splashing on me. I remember that because that was.
Well, this is upsetting.
Yeah. Yeah. You sure about that? You want to run that thing again and make sure?
I mean, this thing is. There's like a 0.01% chance that it ever gives you the wrong chemical makeup. So I don't think running it again will make a difference.
Oh.
Where did that guy work at? Where did that doctor work at? Biotechnica? Or did he work somewhere else?
Yeah, Biotechnica. Well, okay. So, what I've heard, what I've read on the boards, is that he worked for Miratech and was in the middle of trying to join Biotechnica because Biotechnica liked his research and wanted to turn all of Night City into lizards so that they could conquer, and then the corporations would rule everything. And this goes into the frog thing that I was trying to tell Leslie about the other night, that back in the 2000s there was another conspiracy theorist that found a way that they were making frogs gay.
Do you actually believe that?
Well, have you seen any heterosexual frogs lately? Where did all
I
the
don't
frogs
think-
go?
Have you seen any frogs?
I think
at
frogs
all?
are all dead.
Yeah, because they all...
You're saying they died out because they were all gay and they
Yeah.
couldn't reproduce.
Yes.
Okay, I mean, I think
What
it had
about all
something
the
to
other
do with
animals?
the nuclear fallout, but I mean, I guess you could be right.
Well, no, that makes a lot more sense.
Science.
But that's science, and you're going to turn into a lizard.
Okay.
Yeah, Tire Iron kind of like steps in and is like, okay, I think we heard everything we were going to hear from this. So let's
Alright, great.
get out
Yeah,
of here.
I have a headache just being in here right now. I need to step out.
A headache
Let's
too,
go.
actually.
Thanks, Nomi. And Nomi just kind of waves at all of you as you leave. I'm sorry for her.
I mean, believe it or not, it's something. It's a little bit more. If we got in the middle of some thing or the other, that maybe that's why. I don't.
Do you think they'd still be coming after you?
Because of the
Maybe it's
virus?
just the gene editing thing. If they saw something happen, we're
But I barely knew that anything happened. How the fuck would they know?
Well,
mile
maybe they
missing.
realized that some of the remains indicated that some of his stuff was taken. Maybe they're trying to track down. But if they knew that we had been hit by this fluid, I feel like they'd want to
study
observe
us.
Yeah.
Has anyone tried to take you alive?
The The last person who tried got a bullet straight through his
Face.
pot.
Yeah.
It was a good
But-
shot, by the way.
Thank you.
Sweetie.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was us or them, and it just kind of happened.
I, for one, am very glad that she put a bullet in his brain. I was ecstatic, let me tell you.
Yeah, I am too. I am too.
And he did kidnap one of our friends.
Yeah.
So
No, it's fine. But so we know that now. So they did try to take you alive.
Well, that one did. The other one, there's a lot of shooting. Actually, I don't know what he was trying to do. He like punched through the window and grabbed the steering wheel, shot at him. I kind of missed a lot of that part.
Okay. You see this right here? This is what happens when someone tries to kill you. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say he tried to kill me.
there was something that happened while we were in the club that I noticed. When he shot at me the first time when I had my armor on, there was a lot of people in between us, and he didn't seem to hit anybody but me. He could have purposely hit you somewhere where you wouldn't die to try to incapacitate you, because you're, I mean, honestly, the biggest and strongest out of all of us. So
Or maybe we have one party trying to take us alive to study us because they don't have the files or they don't have the research, they don't have all the stuff. And we have one side that wants to kill us so that it doesn't get out, and they have the only research on it.
So Miratech and Biotechnica.
So maybe Miratech has the stuff and they want to keep it just them, and so they would want to kill us, and then Biotech doesn't have it yet and wants it.
Because
so
why
they
would the
want us
doctor have had it
alive.
on him when he was getting out? And then Callum was the one that was hired to kill him. Did we ever ask Callum who hired him?
Or why he was trying to kill him? Or why he did what?
I don't think we asked him. And even if we did, I doubt he would tell us.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
I mean, I don't know if that's accurate.
No, that sounds like exactly what the corpse would do. One person runs away with something, somebody else has it. They're either going to try and hang on to it or try to get rid of whoever has it. That's exactly what they do. How do they even know?
I mean, there's cameras everywhere.
Alright. Are cameras really picking up like a splash though? Like, we
And all
don't know
these
anything.
people.
I thought you lived in Night City. Don't you know what a brain dance is?
What?
Oh, brain dances are, well, the ones on the market are, you plug it into your brain and you essentially relive something. You can do movies, pornos, stories, experiments, things like that. You can feel like a hero, you can feel like a movie star, all of that kind of stuff. But there are some people that use brain dance to investigate crime, that are more raw. They don't have programmed emotions in them. They use it for crime scenes, to watch things, how they go down.
I'll try asking Callum first, I think.
Okay, so this is where I'm gonna put a finger up. If they've already checked out your parents' place And if they already came around here and shot Silverteeth? Silverteeth, right, okay. And if I got highlight breathing down my neck, there's a pretty good chance that they're watching us. And I think that means that there's a pretty good chance that us not staying in the same place is the only reason they haven't picked us up yet. So, I think that we need to be careful about whatever it is we send to Callum. Right now, the bonfire is the best bet that we have with anything, and I do not want to burn that bridge. So, I'm not saying don't tell him. Let's just, face to face is good for this sort of stuff.
Okay.
You got yourself in a lot of big shit, huh? Well, you're all free to lay low here, as long as you like, alright? Okay. So, with that, you head back to Tyrarian's boat, and you have the Concord for the rest of the day. Does anyone want to do anything until dinner?
Is there like a first aid tent sort of deal that Marco could go help out at?
Yeah.
So I think
You
he
mentioned-
would want to do that. To stay
Yeah.
busy.
You head over there, and there's a older man, kind of graying, gray hair all over the place. A prominent bushy beard that sticks out of his face for a little bit, maybe down here. That was a bad one, like down there. Definitely lost some hair. He's got a comb over and everything. Liver spots dot his face. He's got a nice bright sand colored skin and some gentle hazel eyes. And he looks at you and says, "Oh, I see by your hand you are probably a medic."
Yes. I'm a friend of Metal, and we're gonna be
Oh.
here for a few days, so I thought I would offer my services in case you need help.
Oh, well, I have this... I have a thing on my back that you could take a look at, yeah? I'm a medic myself, but, my name is Wilhelm. Nice to meet you, Marco. Oh. Yeah, you help him out. You actually help him out with his thing, and it works out pretty well. Taharka.
I pulled my dice out because I was ready to roll.
Ooh, go ahead and roll first aid. See if you ruin this old man's back.
Am I gonna ruin this poor man's back? How does a 17 sound?
Oh, this sounds pretty good. So you're
'Cause that was a
all
1. I rolled a 1 and
Yeah.
that's still a 17.
yeah. There are some things that you've done enough that you're reliably just going to be good at, unless there's something that's making you lose concentration. It was a pretty simple thing, and he's just like, "Oh, that feels much better. Thank you." So you make a relationship with Wilhelm. Taharka, is there anything you want to do?
Yes. Taharka would like to see if there are any spare rifles. He wants to get something a little bit bigger, something he'll be able to hit from a little bit further away with, because Big Boy is big and not fun to be around up close.
Okay. Yeah. So you go and you eventually talk to Lucille, and she's the quartermaster for today. She says, "So, we want a long range weapon, hmm?"
That would be good, yeah. I'm tired of getting my ass kicked up close.
Yeah. So What you got?
I am willing to pay market price, maybe a little bit more if it's a particularly good model. What do you got for me?
Well, nothing market or good.
All right. How about something that works?
So that I can give you.
All right.
So, she pulls out an ornate sniper rifle. Not ornate, but old. And it's kind of got a stocky receiver. Looks to be a little bit of rectangle and curves up into a long barrel. But the stock itself kind of thins a little bit after the trigger and the trigger guard, but then splays out to kind of curve around the shoulder and around a little bit, almost like an old musket. But you can definitely tell that the receiver is a little bit more semi-auto, bolt action. She says, "This is what we got, but it's not much."
May I?
She hands it to you. So it is just like a standard sniper rifle, except it only has one shot in it before you have to reload. And market for us is 800.
Sold to the lady with the sniper rifle. And he will take out 800, this portion off 800 of the eddies from the morning and hand it over.
Yeah, she takes it, and now you have yourself a sniper rifle.
Any rounds to go with that?
Yeah, she gives you 8 rounds. Okay. 1 for each 100.
It's a pleasure doing business with you.
Metal. Is there anything you want to do?
I'll just check on the plants, kind of just be home, like get comfy, go in my little room on the boat and
Yeah.
blankets and pretend that I don't exist for a little while.
Yeah. It's really comforting. Tyron makes you some tea. Just leaves it there, lets you take the time that you need. And says, "Before you need me, okay?" So night finds its way to the Concord. And you're all doing your things. Taharka probably struck up a conversation with Lucille, and you've been sitting there on lookout with her. Marco, a few people have come into the first aid tent with some messed up hands and arms from doing work, and that'll Tyron eventually picked up an inconsequential conversation with you, just something nice to talk about.
Yeah, so what I would have it be is like after she's like, "Oh, like I'm here whenever you need me," like a hand like kind of pokes out from the blankets and like pulls her down, and then she just like kind of lays next to me for a while, and then we just start talking, but like with me still like completely under the blanket.
Oh, absolutely, super comfy. Tarka, I need you to roll me. What is that? Perception.
Hopefully that's a good number. That is an 11.
Okay. Yeah, that works. You see, walking through the wasteland, a familiar bulky form.
gotta
and
be
you
fucking kidding me.
you double check using the scope of your new rifle. You didn't really get a clear look at this guy, but you can tell from the missing skin on a metal face that it's definitely the guy.
Gotta be fucking... Alright, Lucille, you are a wonderful woman. It has been a pleasure to make your acquaintance, but literally a metal demon is coming after us right now, so we're gonna get out of here.
What?
I'll talk to you later. Great, man.
In that moment, as you say that, and she kind of looks at you in fear. Oh yeah, hello. A bullet whizzes at and hits Lucille in the neck. And she just immediately clamps down on it and is holding onto it and looks at you wide-eyed as she scrambles for cover. And that is where we will end this week's episode. That wraps up the episode for this week of Cyberpunk Ascendancy, everyone. That's all we have for you tonight. Make sure to follow all of these lovely Cyberpunks on their social media. And follow @Worldsmith Games on Twitter for more news and updates about the show. Remember, stay safe, organize, and work for a better world. We are nothing without each other. Have a good night, and we'll see you all next week.